Hello, my name is Solomon, Hebrew name Shlomo, and I'm here to talk about anti-Zionism in the Jewish community, mostly in the Satmars, which hold the highest idea of anti-Zionism. Most Hasidic Jews in the beginning didn't agree with Zionism, but as time moved on, more and more Hasidic Jews began to accept Zionism to the point where now there is a brigade in Israel called Nahal Haredi, which many ultra Orthodox men fight in this brigade, and they're Hasidic. But in the beginning, most of course Hasidic Jews didn't believe in anti-Zionism because they believe the Mashiach hasn't come yet, and also because they believe in the three oaths stated in the Talmud, in the Midrash that is found in the Talmud, which says that Jews, for their part, are sworn not to go up from exile to the land of Israel in mass, and not to rebel against the nations, and that the nations are sworn not to subjugate the Jews too much. However, the argument is that in modern times, three oaths are not binding because the three oaths are agadic midrash, and therefore are not halacha obligatory, as opposed to halachic midrashim, which are traditionally understood as a valid source of halacha. The wording of Maimonides in the episode to Yemen specifically states that the oaths are metaphorically. You can check this out in Maimonides. Although the three oaths were obligatory in the past, the Gentiles violated their vow by excessively persecuting the Jewish people. Therefore, the validity of the two other vows has been nullified, and the ban on mass immigration to Israel is void, due to the nation's failure to uphold their end of the oaths. It is clearly established in either the Gemara or Halacha that precisely would constitute permission from the nations, such as the Balfour Declaration, the San Remo Conference, and the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 181, which is understood by representing permission and approval from all the nations of the world. Accordingly, the Jewish people cannot be considered to have rebelled against the nations because Resolution 181 enabled the Jews to establish a homeland in Israel. So therefore, they're not violating that Jews aren't violating the oath of not rebelling against nations because the nations have agreed to allow a nation of Israel to exist. And UN Resolution 181. Another thing, but still many of these Jews refuse to believe that. Many Hasidic Jews, however, have changed their minds and have become more lenient towards Zionism, but Satmars still remain very stubborn. Now, even though most of us Jews may not agree with Satmars, they are still Jews. We have to treat them as brothers. We have to debate and discuss this issue because it's a very important issue that should be discussed. And we shouldn't look at these people and say, forget you guys, we don't want to have anything to do with you guys. We're Jews, we have to discuss this. And perhaps we'll convince them otherwise, or perhaps not. But we still have an obligation to say, look guys, this is what we think. We want to hear what you guys think. There has to be an open discussion about this. If we close ourselves off, we are not enabling a healthy discussion, and we're going to only alienate Satmar Jews, and we have to incorporate all Jews because we're all brothers, and we're all B'nai Abraham, we're all children of Abraham. We all have to understand one another. If we don't understand one another, then we clearly won't be able to. It's just not a very positive thing. So I encourage all Jews to have an open discussion about this towards anti-Zionism, look into it. And if you happen to find a Jew who happens to disagree with you, have a discussion with him. Find out, perhaps you may learn something new about something you didn't know. Perhaps he may learn something new that he didn't know either. But even if you guys don't come to an agreement, you have to understand that you're both Jews, and you both have to come together and support one another. Thank you very much for listening.